repent and turn to the Lord. What does this actually mean when God is saying it to us? As you can tell, it's Ash Wednesday, and that means today starts the 40 days of Lent, which is a time of fasting and prayer and penitence, because it is telling the story now of the very end of Jesus' days leading up to his crucifixion, up into Easter where he has his resurrection. And here's the thing, when people hear the phrase repent, right, they always think of it as this finger shaking kind of like, be ashamed, you should be ashamed for doing bad things. But as I saw one Episcopal priest said, she was talking about how a lot of people call her a heretic and all this stuff, and they say repent, but they never say the last part, which is, and turn back to the Lord. And that's important because that radically changes the connotation, the energy, the feeling of the call to repent, to do penitence. And it starts with, I just got out, obviously you can see, just out of the service, one of the first friggin' readings was from the book of Joel. And the book of Joel has this phrasing where the prophet basically is saying like, hey, shit's about to be fucked, like the day of darkness of the Lord, like the darkness of the Lord is almost upon us. It's almost here. And you'll notice if you are keeping up with, when I had that conversation with Jesus, this imagery looks a lot like what Jesus showed me behind the gates of St. Peter. Darkness, this kind of storminess, this brewing disaster. You can feel it in the air, like you could feel lightning about to strike. There is such terror about to come down. And yet, up to the last minute, God is saying, come back to me. Weep, fast, pray, return to me. Right now, as I was saying that Jesus told me, God is making it so abundantly clear the right way. He's trying to remove every blinding, illusory obstacle from our way so we can make the right choice in our hearts of how to act and what to do right now in this time of everything going so crazy. But even then, he's not saying pick a side so that he can then just pull the lever on the other side. He's saying pick a side so that if somehow you're still choosing the wrong side, he can still call to you. He's still reaching his hand out to you. He's still trying to get you to come to him. Up until the last moment possible, God is reaching his hands out. He's saying, come back to me. Stop doing what you're doing. When he says repent, it doesn't mean be ashamed, feel bad, feel my judgment. It means, where are you going? Turn around, come back. That way is dangerous, come back. People think of God's judgment as like, oh, if you do wrong, he's just gonna, again, pull the lever and whoosh, drop you into hell, and that's that. And he has to do it because, that's what happens when you sin. But no, that's not what's happening. It's more like you are standing on a scaffolding that is on fire. You're standing on scaffolding that is about to fall down and collapse under your feet. And how you got there, who fucking knows? But God is trying to, hey, come here, get off of that. Come here. He cannot physically pull you off of it. You have to make the choice to get off of it. And if you don't make the choice, the natural consequence is that it falls out from underneath you and you fall down. But even then, I do believe God would send an angel to come get you if you didn't reject that angel. This heartbreaking plea in Joel is exactly what penance is about. It's about God constantly trying to convince us, remind us of the right way. Not because, he doesn't want us to do anything else or see anything else or believe anything else, but because the stuff that leads us into genuine sin is harmful to us and harmful to our communities. We are doing harm. We are doing active, tangible damage to ourselves and creation. And that's where you get double misty-eyed when you think about the litany of penitence, which we also all did. Look at the stuff that we're asking for help for here. We're not repenting, not going to church every Sunday or not doing everything perfectly or not, making enough bake sale goods for the church fund me drive or whatever. We're not repenting for these superficial, stupid, obsessive things. We're repenting like prejudice and cruelty and apathy and negligence against other people. Because by hurting other people, we hurt God. And the only way I can think to compare it, which again is not a one-to-one comparison because obviously we are not God, but the way I can compare it, it's almost as if God is watching us the way people watch a loved one who has fallen into addiction. And anyone who's been in this position understands that when that happens and you watch someone you love fall prey to addiction, whether it's substances or gambling or anything else, they become someone that you don't recognize. That addiction twists them, bends them into someone that you know that they aren't actually, and that you know that they don't want to be. But that is what addiction does to people, right? And so we as people, we are fallible. We are not infinite in our resources or infinite in our life. We oftentimes, as humans, have to eventually make a heartbreaking decision. If someone doesn't turn back and actually get help for that addiction, we have to make the heartbreaking decision of, do we preserve ourselves? Do we, put ourselves first and realize that we can't help this person? Or do we follow them into destruction, trying desperately to help them at the expense of ourselves? But God is not finite. God is infinite, and his mercy is infinite, and his love is infinite. And he does not ever make the choice to preserve himself. He does again and again and again make the choice to follow us into ruin. We see that in the very first fuck up of all time with Adam and Eve. He doesn't just cast Adam and Eve out of the garden and preserve himself in the garden. He follows Adam and Eve into the world. He follows them into ruin. Likewise, when everyone's telling Jesus, hey buddy, we gotta get out of here, it's getting dangerous now, what are you talking about, you're gonna leave us, what are you talking about that bad things have to happen, you're talking nonsense, Jesus says, gotta do what I gotta do. And he follows the entire world into hell and does not choose to preserve himself, but instead hangs up on that cross. But they can do that because unlike us who, when we die, it's not like our bodies will come back, our soul might live on, but our bodies don't. Unlike us who are finite, who don't have infinite capacity and infinite power like God does, God and Jesus, the Word made flesh, they come back. They don't just perish with us. They wrest us out of the jaws of death. And they bring us into their shelter again. That peace, that love. It doesn't matter how far down we go. It doesn't matter how much we destroy ourselves. God has that love that is so infinitely powerful that it can not only defy but defeat death in all of its permanence. When God says, repent and turn back to me, he doesn't say it because he's saying, I'm the only thing that you should think of 24/7 the way like megachurches tell you. It's not because he's saying, I just really would like it if all you did was basically go to church and do nothing else. No, God is trying to turn you back from destructive behavior, from the behavior that would turn you into a twisted and bent and hard-hearted person that would hurt your fellow man in that hard-heartedness. God's trying to turn you back to him, so that because he is love, so that you can see love, so you can experience love, so you can be healed by love. That's what God's trying to do when he says repent. And when he says fast and pray, it's not because, he doesn't want you to enjoy life or to enjoy things. It's because when you take a moment to fast, when you take a moment to pause, put all your distractions down, and just sit in prayer and meditation and contemplation, it is an interruption. It is an interruption in the downward spiral that has you just falling further and further and further into your own many folds of despair. It's like when people are hyperventilating, freaking out, and one of their friends just takes their face and says, hey, look at me, look at me. That is what fasting and prayer is. It's God taking you saying, hey, look at me, focus, you're okay, you're okay. And when you understand that, when you understand how much God does to drag us back from the very depths of despair, you understand why Lent is so important, and why the story of Lent repeats not just once a year, but every month, every week, every day, every hour, every minute. This cycle happens. Every minute, God is able to pull you out of the jaws of death. Every minute. He will if you just let him, if you just repent and turn back to him.